Welcome to our Trump Briefing Show, everyone. Today, we've got a gripping lineup of news stories. First up, a federal judge has ordered the Trump administration to return a Guatemalan man, who was wrongfully deported after suffering rape and kidnapping in Mexico. The case highlights serious issues of false info and lack of due process, with similar cases popping up, including the deportation of a Salvadoran man. It's a reminder of how critical on-the-ground journalism is in uncovering these injustices. Next, tensions flare as Trump considers renaming the Persian Gulf as the Arabian Gulf, stirring international controversy. While the name has historical roots, Iran strongly opposes the change, calling it a political move against them. The UN and most sources still recognize it as the Persian Gulf, but the debate continues to heat up, reflecting deep regional tensions. Finally, President Trump delivered a fiery speech at West Point, praising the cadets and taking credit for rebuilding the U.S. military. He also used the platform to tout his political achievements and criticize past interventions, all while addressing protests outside. It was a blend of military pride and political rhetoric, echoing themes from his previous speeches. Please continue to stay with us for more detailed insights. The Independent vividly recounts the harrowing case of a Guatemalan man, OCG, who was wrongfully deported to Mexico after enduring unimaginable trauma, being raped, targeted for his sexuality, and held hostage until ransom was paid by his sister. A federal judge, Brian Murphy, ordered his return to the United States, condemning the deportation as a banal horror driven by false information and a lack of due process. Murphy's ruling underscores the systemic failures and the real human toll of immigration enforcement, especially highlighting how the Trump administration provided misleading details about whether the man was questioned about fears of returning to Mexico. This case echoes the Supreme Court's recent decision to declare the deportation of Kilmar Abrego Garcia, a father from Maryland, as illegal, yet the government has yet to facilitate his return, illustrating ongoing issues within immigration policies. Meanwhile, the administration's targeting of pro-Palestinian students, such as Georgetown scholar Badr Khan Suri and Colombia's Mahmoud Khalil, both detained over social media activity, further exposes the troubling climate of repression and the erosion of legal protections for activists and residents alike. RFI offers a compelling exploration of the ongoing controversy surrounding the name of the Persian Gulf, a dispute rooted in history, politics, and national identity. Just before his Middle East trip, Donald Trump contemplated renaming the body of water the Arabian Gulf, echoing his earlier, more whimsical decision to call the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America. Historically known as the Persian Gulf since antiquity, the name reflects centuries of recognition by geographers, historians, and international bodies, with Iran fiercely defending its historical and cultural significance. Iran considers attempts to rename it the Arabian Gulf as a political act aimed at denying its history and sovereignty, leading to bans and diplomatic protests when Western outlets like National Geographic and The Economist use the term. The debate is more than semantics, it symbolizes the broader geopolitical tensions involving oil reserves, regional dominance, and national pride, with Iran warning that any change in terminology is viewed as hostile, potentially escalating regional conflicts. Despite Trump's retreat from the idea, the controversy underscores the deep-rooted importance of history, identity, and geopolitics intertwined with this vital waterway. The Toronto Star vividly captures President Donald Trump's speech at West Point, where he lauded the cadets' academic and physical achievements, yet unmistakably infused the event with political fervor. Trump, donning his signature "Make America Great Again" hat, proclaimed the United States as the hottest country in the world, claiming credit for rebuilding the military and emphasizing an America First doctrine. His speech was a potent mix of patriotic pride and political rhetoric, as he boasted about his administration's successes, criticized past political leaders for misguided foreign interventions, and asserted his electoral mandate from the 2024 elections. Trump also took moments to recognize individual cadets' accomplishments, blending personal praise with political messaging, while rallying supporters outside the ceremony with signs demanding support for veterans in opposition to cuts, illustrating a politically charged atmosphere at a traditionally nonpartisan military event. Yahoo US reports on President Trump's declaration of a major disaster for Kentucky following devastating tornadoes and severe storms that ravaged the state in May 2025. The disaster declaration, approved after a series of natural calamities, includes assistance such as temporary housing grants, home repairs, and low-interest loans, aiming to aid Kentucky's recovery from the destruction caused by an EF4 tornado and ongoing severe weather. The article details the scale of devastation: thousands of homes damaged or destroyed, critical infrastructure wiped out, and hundreds of lives lost, highlighting the urgent need for federal aid. Kentucky's congressional delegation strongly urged swift action, emphasizing the extensive damage across more than 600 miles of the state and the economic toll, including the destruction of businesses and increased unemployment. FEMA's ongoing support and the significant financial costs of debris removal underscore the magnitude of this disaster, marking Kentucky's third major federal aid declaration within the year, as the state struggles to rebuild amid ongoing natural disasters. The Independent features a compelling critique from TV naturalist Chris Packham, who condemns the UK government's proposed planning and infrastructure bill and its associated nature restoration fund as a license to destroy nature. During a panel at the Hay Festival, Packham denounced the scheme, which would allow developers to bypass environmental obligations by making payments that would supposedly fund nature restoration elsewhere. He argued that the fund is a superficial solution that enables environmental degradation without meaningful accountability or local impact, especially given the cuts and redundancies faced by Natural England. Packham's fiery condemnation paints the legislation as a dangerous precedent, effectively giving developers free rein to destroy natural habitats while superficially offsetting their damage through financial contributions. His call to action urges the public to contact MPs and oppose the bill, emphasizing the importance of protecting Britain's remaining natural landscapes from corporate exploitation masked as environmental progress. The Harvard Crimson reports that President Trump's administration is intensifying its efforts to suppress dissent within higher education, notably targeting Harvard University's international student enrollment, which comprises roughly 30% of its student body. Ryan D. Enos, a Harvard professor, describes how this political pressure threatens the university's diversity and global engagement, illustrating the broader climate of hostility toward institutions that challenge or criticize the administration's policies. This ongoing assault underscores a broader strategy to control academic discourse and limit the influence of dissenting voices, raising alarms about the future of academic freedom amid political interference. Deutsche Welle details a tumultuous power struggle within the U.S. Department of the Interior, triggered by internal staff cuts orchestrated under the influence of a DOJ appointee, Stephanie Holmes. Her memo, which ordered staff to cease filling vacant positions temporarily, was met with resistance from veteran bureau officials like Michael Ned, who advised ignoring the directive to prevent a crippling reduction in personnel. This conflict reveals the administration's aggressive push to slash the bureau's workforce, responsible for managing vast federal lands and critical energy resources, despite bipartisan criticism of the staffing reductions. The turmoil reflects a broader effort to streamline operations at the expense of experienced staff, threatening the department's capacity to fulfill its mission and fulfill President Trump's promises to expand domestic fossil fuel and mineral production. Yahoo US covers the crowded and contentious race for New York City's mayoralty, where former Governor Andrew Cuomo is making a surprising political comeback. Despite resigning amid sexual harassment allegations, Cuomo's poll leads by a wide margin, buoyed by significant financial backing and a city seemingly ready to forgive his past transgressions. Meanwhile, a diverse field of challengers, including Zoran Mamdani, Brad Lander, and Adrian Adams, are united mainly in their opposition to Cuomo, employing strategic voting tactics to counter his dominance. The race exemplifies New York's complex, polarized political landscape, where alliances are fragile, and the primary could determine the city's future leadership amid a crowded field and the looming general election. Photographer Mark Osto captures this intense contest in stark, documentary-style images, offering a raw glimpse into the brutal, unpredictable battle for the city's top political position. According to Yahoo US, the Home Office reports a record-breaking surge in American interest in relocating to the UK, with over 6,600 Americans applying for British citizenship in the year leading up to March, the highest since 2004. This spike, especially notable in the first quarter of 2025, is attributed to political turbulence in the US, particularly during Trump's presidency, with many Americans seeking dual citizenship or permanent residency as a hedge against an uncertain political landscape. Immigration lawyers in the U.S. note increased inquiries, driven by polarized politics and a crackdown on immigration, with some applicants motivated by a desire to retain options should they choose to leave or stay in the UK. While most applications are family-based, the UK government's extension of eligibility periods and potential policy relaxations hint at a further rise, paralleling Trump's ideas of incentivizing investors and skilled migrants, with the UK emphasizing language proficiency and contribution as key criteria. Yahoo US also reports on the significant diplomatic developments between Syria and Turkey, as Syrian interim President Ahmed al-Shara meets Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan in Istanbul amid the lifting of Western sanctions. The high-profile meeting, attended by top Turkish officials at the Dolmabahce Palace, signals a thaw in relations and regional cooperation aimed at Syria's reconstruction after years of civil war. The US and EU sanctions, imposed since 2011 in response to Assad's brutal crackdown, have begun to ease, with Washington lifting the first set of sanctions as part of a broader regional effort. Syria's government welcomed this move, viewing it as a vital step toward alleviating humanitarian and economic hardships. This diplomatic thaw reflects regional efforts to stabilize Syria, with Turkey playing a pivotal role in fostering dialogue and reconstruction, highlighting a shift from isolation to engagement in the long-standing conflict. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.
Turn on the screen, monsters screaming. Empty smiles, their words misleading. Power games in darkened rooms. Spin their lies to seal our doom. Oh, oh, oh. Turn on the screen, monsters screaming. Empty smiles, their words misleading. Power games in darkened rooms. Spin their lies to seal our doom. They talk about freedom, justice fake. Behind their walls, shadows take. Tears with strings of steel. Promises broken, deals they conceal. We're just numbers in their cold hands. Fight the castles built on sand. Rise up now, reclaim the night of their truth in blinding light. Oh, elections and deals in the dark. Voices lost in power's arc. Leaders laugh while we cry. Change the rules, make us comply. Propaganda